Hi everyone, I'm Darcy Drollinger. I am thrilled to be part of the 44th Annual Frameline Film Festival. In honor of me being part of the festival this year and Champagne herself, I've made a cocktail, a specialty Oasis cocktail specific for the movie, specific for our heroine, Champagne Horowitz Jones Dickerson White. So she's been married a couple of times. It's none of your fucking business. Anyway, let's get started. This is a simple and unique cocktail, not for the faint of heart, but will be a crowd pleaser. We're gonna take a chilled champagne glass. You can use a flute or a coupe. I prefer a coupe. I'm gonna fill it with some delicious champagne. Now I know you're like, I want to just grab that glass right away and have a sip. Those tiny bubbles tickling your nose. Like they say, it goes down like liquid gold, comes up like slow dynamite, just like champagne. All right, there we've got our beautiful glass of champagne, but here's where we kick it into fifth gear. That's right, we're going to take this glass of champagne and take it to another level by adding a chocolate kiss. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the champagne and this is the proverbial shit. Well, it's true. And we're gonna drop this candy right into our champagne. Look at those bubbles just starting to absorb all of that chocolate flavor. Now, some people will say, what the hell, a chocolate kiss in a glass of champagne? And you know what? I understand it. Some people are afraid of going further, experimenting, opening their eyes, their hearts, and their palates to a new cocktail. But have you ever tasted chocolate champagne? It's the brown and bubbly. And I'm telling you right now, this will change your life. So enjoy the Shit and Champagne cocktail, and enjoy Shit and Champagne at the West Wind Solano Drive-In. Here's to a fabulous Frameline Film Festival. Cheers.
Can't you see my heart is rushing out? I can see the lights upon your trail. Will you go with me to discover all the fantasy, no dream? Can't you see this sky is falling down? Can't you see us there, moving the clouds? Will you go with me to discover all the memories now?
Welcome to Frameline44's virtual gala and silent auction. It's the first one ever. Gala. I always like to clear things up. I'm Michelle Meow, host of the Michelle Meow Show, your A through Z, covering the LGBT, LMNOP, and everyone in between show at the Commonwealth Club of California and KBCW's Channel 13 right here in San Francisco Bay Area. I'm very excited, very proud that we're doing this tonight. It's the first ever virtual gala only because it's been a challenging time. It's been that kind of a year, an unprecedented kind of a year. But although we've had our challenges, from cancellations of Pride celebrations from around the world to cancellations of events and huge important gatherings in our personal lives, we're still able to pivot and have the courage and resilience to do it as a community. And so Frameline44, what has happened? Well, get this, two drive-ins that makes history. I think it's the first time ever that you were able to do that, including the world premiere of Darcy Drawlinger's Shit and Champagne. That was super exciting, wasn't it? Well, tonight we have an important role. We've got to support Frameline and all the work that they do to keep us visible and to keep our art out there. And so we'll have that silent auction, but we'll also have a whole lot of fun. There's going to be entertainment and also video statements from local dignitaries and leaders in our community. So let's get right to it. Here's James Woolley, the executive director of Frameline.
Hi, I'm James Woolley, Frameline's executive director, and I'm so pleased to have you all with us for this wonderful evening. I wish we could be together in person, but that's just not a 2020 thing. Instead, we're broadcasting this over multiple platforms: Frameline's Facebook, our YouTube, our own streaming service, CitySend, and our auction platform. So thank you for joining us wherever you are. We've been through a lot this year, but Frameline has been resilient. We've been able to continue to connect to our community and do what we love: show amazing films that represent the whole of the LGBTQ+ community. March and April was tough, but our resurgence started with a mini film festival in June. We were feeling our way in the dark there. It was a gamble, I'll tell you. Would we be able to deliver a product that we were proud of? But we came out of that knowing that we'd pulled off something special, that we'd made a successful transition into the new COVID era, and that we'd set a benchmark for what a virtual film festival could be. And we've replicated this again for the September festival, selling more tickets this time around. We've actually broken the record for the largest attendance in Frameline history. The program has never been more accessible. And you've helped get us here. Our wonderful donors have got us here. Our sponsors, foundation, and government support have got us here. But a virtual festival just doesn't make the same revenue as one in person. 2/3 of the revenue is lost by not selling a theatre ticket. It's just a tougher business. We faced a shortfall, which we've got a long way to covering. This auction tonight will help bridge that gap. So do support us if you can. Help us enter 2021 on a strong footing. And tonight we have an auction, so you should have a look at what's on offer. The URL for it is frameline.org/gala, and the URL is in the comments. And I love the auction items, and especially I think you'll love them if you're a film fan. And making a bid is easy. In just a few steps, you can select something you like and make an offer. The auction is open till midnight on Sunday, and every dollar raised helps Frameline keep our core programs running. You could also support us by buying a t-shirt or a tote bag on that platform, or you can donate tonight. If you were ever going to donate to Frameline, this is the time, because every donation or auction bid or merch purchase that comes in this week will get a $50 voucher from Underground Cellar. It doesn't matter how much you donate, $20, $30, $40, everybody gets a $50 voucher. It doesn't matter if you don't win the bid, you get a $50 voucher. So for many people bidding or donating tonight, you'll be making a profit, a wine profit at least. There's no fees to sign up to get the wine, no subscription. They just believe in Frameline's mission. The codes are being sent out on Monday, so get in before then. Please do donate or support. So thank you to everybody who contributes today, and also to Underground Cellar. I wanted to say that I've got a few favorite items in there, including the Gus Van Sant poster. I really think the Andrew Sean Greer Zoom is going to be great. I think his book Less was hilarious. But I also really love the support from the local film organizations and the memberships we have on sale with those. Places like Roxy or SF Film, Mill Valley Film Festival's got a great package in there, but JFI and CAM do as well. So have a look at those. For anyone who bids in those items, you're going to have a great year of film. Look, and now that the intros are over, let's just get the fun started. So I'm going to go throw to Michelle Meow, who's going to take us off to the next segment. Thanks.
There are so many exciting items in the silent auction. Truly, truly so excited. I mean, never done before, never seen before items, like a chance to Zoom meet with director Alice Wu, who directed this summer's big hit, The Half of It. And if you haven't seen it, you should. It's such a heartwarming, romantic film. But she's a treasure of the LGBTQ community, and just to spend 30 minutes asking her anything, especially about film, is amazing. But also Alan Cumming. I mean, a Zoom walk with Alan Cumming, the Alan Cumming, that is super exciting. And I think actually a once in a lifetime. I don't know if you'll ever be able to do that again. There's so many other exciting things, even for you sports enthusiasts out there. There's a signed football by Dave Kopay and Guy McIntyre, two legendary 49ers, and Dave being one of 6, I think, who have come out in the NFL. So making history if you win that football. And also tons of gift cards to our local favorites like Pesha, Fogo de Chao, Starbelly, and wine. Also trips. I mean, Alaska airline trips. We are going to beat this thing. We're going to beat the pandemic, and you're going to be out there. You're going to want to, schedule that trip. And so you'll have a chance to do that and win some Alaska airline tickets, and also maybe even a stay at the Hilton here in San Francisco. If you're itching for a trip right now, maybe stay local and you'll be able to stay at the incredible Hilton and do things that are fun and outdoors and being safe here in San Francisco. My personal favorite, a chance to have drinks with James Woolley. Man, so who's bidding with me on that item? I can't wait to get right to the bidding. But don't forget, even if you don't win, or I'm sorry, no, you are going to win. If you don't win an item or you lose, I hate that word lose, but you don't get an item or you win, you do get the $50 Underground Sellers gift card. So remember that. This is amazing. It's incredible. And it's all going to a great cause. It's going to Frameline. So let's get bidding and get to the program. Here are some words from our elected leaders.
Hi, I'm San Francisco Mayor London Breed. It is my honor to welcome you to Frameline44, the largest virtual LGBTQ film festival in the world. During normal times, over 60,000 attendees gather at theaters to see the incredible work of our filmmakers, producers, actors, and actresses. But we know this is not a normal time. And that's why I want to thank Frameline for re-envisioning this landmark festival, for us to still come together at this 11-day virtual event to celebrate the new queer cinema from around the world. For 44 years, Frameline has been the global leader in the LGBTQ+ cinema, and they continue to curate and exhibit these important stories from the home of the LGBTQ+ civil rights movement. But I also know, beyond lifting up the LGBTQ+ community, Frameline is working to confront systemic racism. Through their mission to change the world using the power of queer cinema, they have committed to amplifying Black queer voices, talents, and stories, and to support queer and trans people of color. For far too long, African Americans have suffered under the dual burdens of racism and inequality, and it's on all of us to support these changes to our society. That's how we can embody the fundamental ideas behind Black Lives Matter, and to also support and elevate our LGBTQ+ community. Your support of Frameline's incredible work will make sure that the voices of the marginalized and vulnerable communities can be heard and continue to give us hope. I want to thank James, Paul, David, Lindsay from the Frameline leadership team, and the entire staff, the board of directors, for bringing us together in celebration of LGBTQ+ cinema in this challenging year, and for your commitment to making our community a better place. Stay safe and healthy, and together, we will change the world through the power of queer cinema.
Hi, I'm Raphael Mandelin, and I represent District 8 on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. Thank you, Frameline, for all you do to support LGBTQ+ cinema. For 44 years, Frameline has uplifted and connected the queer community through the power of cinema. Even in these challenging times, when being together means something totally different from what it ever has before, Frameline is innovating and creating queer community in new ways, hosting screenings at drive-ins and moving their signature LGBTQ+ film festival online. Queer cinema tells the diverse stories of our community, and Frameline continues to lift up the voices of trans folk, Black and Latinx queer people, women, and other members of our large queer family. Thank you to the staff, board, and amazing community of volunteers that make Frameline happen.
Greetings, Frameline fans. During these challenging times of virus, fires, smoke, racial injustice, and an ailing economy, now more than ever, we need to appreciate and count our many blessings. Even our cultural treasures are on the ropes. And that's why celebrating the miracle of our very own Frameline Festival is so very important. As one who has for many years focused on fighting for our community, I fully embrace Frameline's mission of changing the world through the power of queer cinema. You see, telling our own stories has the magic of transforming hearts and minds, which is the first step in winning more votes. Through tears and triumphs, compassion and empathy, heartache and ecstasy, Frameline succeeds. I encourage us all to support Frameline as generously as we can. It is upon each of us to keep this dream alive. Enjoy the festival.
She's an activist, a politico, a drag queen rolled up into one. She is a San Francisco native and a social worker by training who received her master's in social welfare from UC Berkeley. Currently an appointed member of the San Francisco Democratic County Central Committee. She's also the co-founder of the Compton's Transgender Cultural District and a co-owner of the Stud Bar, which we're sad to have heard the news, but hoping that there is new movement soon, a new future for all of us who are fans of the Stud Bar. And currently working as a legislative aide in San Francisco, let's welcome Honey Mahogany.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Frameline44. That is 44 groundbreaking years of celebrating queer excellence in filmmaking right here in San Francisco. For decades, San Francisco has been a confluence of both artists and queers, people who came here to find themselves, simply be themselves, to be inspired, to find love, to be a part of a scene, and sometimes to create one. San Francisco has an incredible track record of contributing to the arts, from our world-class ballets, operas, and symphonies to fantastic popular artists like Maya Angelou, Janis Joplin, Etta James, Sylvester, and of course, John Waters. All have found incredible inspiration in this foggy golden city by the bay and have called it home. Now, more than ever, we need the arts. We need beauty and entertainment to carry us through this dark time, as it's carried us through so many dark times before. Many of us have been absolutely glued to our computers watching Netflix or Amazon Prime or YouTube to help us escape the isolation of quarantine and help us feel alive and connected again. That is why it is so important that we support and celebrate incredible, long-standing institutions like Frameline that have helped to showcase art and culture for the last 44 years. Thank you to all the artists who continue to create and share their vision and talent. The drag stars of Drag Alive who serve it to you every time, honey. On Saturdays on Twitch TV for The Stud, the drag kings and queens of Oasis, and most importantly, all of you, no matter who you are, for continuing to create and consume art and culture. Thank you, Frameline, for 44 stellar years. May we have you for 44 more and then some. Happy Frameline, everyone. Be safe and enjoy all these amazing queer films.
Thank you, honey. Hi, everyone. My name is Nadir Joshua, and I'm the president of Frameline's board of directors. I want to thank you for joining us at our first ever Gala and silent auction. Take a look at our auction items. There's so much great stuff, including some really cool film memorabilia. Now, James has already told me that he's going to fight me for the Gus Van Sant poster, so I'm going to stay away. I am really excited about other items. There's the curated sommelier experience. There's the Underground Cellar gift cards. There are wine favorites from the boards. Okay, so it's all alcohol, but there is really great stuff for you to bid on, and I hope that you find something that you enjoy. I also hope you've been enjoying Frameline44. There's one more day to watch films, and there's such great content there too. Last night, I watched The Obituary of Tunde Johnson. You should check that out if you haven't already, and look at the Q&A online. That film, like others in the program, really pulls together the themes of the world around us, including the importance of us affirming that Black lives matter and that all Black lives matter. There's still work that we need to do to support Black and Indigenous people of color, particularly the trans community, to fight against the indignities and brutality that they face on a daily basis. This also reminds me of the importance of the work that Frameline does. Frameline's mission is to change the world through the power of queer cinema. And the importance of changing the world around us couldn't be understated. This has been a tough year. The impacts of COVID-19, the wildfires, the election, the calls for social justice, we're in an important moment. And I think many of us fear that we're gearing up for more fights about the rights that we've already won for our community and those that are still being denied. When I think about Frameline, I think about our community, our shared history, and the ability to see myself reflected in the stories that I watch. Representation in storytelling is powerful. It gives us a sense of belonging and value. It teaches us the ways that we have and continue to fight against attempts to silence and erase us. And it showed me that I wasn't the first little Black boy to feel different. And it's affirmed that there's nothing about me that's unworthy of love or hope or respect. By telling our own stories, we capture the diversity and fullness of our community. Our support for queer filmmakers is as important as ever. We've seen this year that art has given us hope and joy in the face of uncertainty, and it's given us something to share when we can't all be together. I genuinely wish there was a program like Youth in Motion when I was growing up. Youth in Motion is one of our year-round programs and one that's dear to my heart. Through it, we provide free LGBTQ+ films and professionally developed curricula to educators in classrooms around the country. We've reached over 28,000 students in 1,400 schools in all 50 states. These students are engaging in screenings and discussions about LGBTQ films. Our audience is mostly LGBTQ+ middle and high school students who are participating in genders and sexuality alliances and other student groups. And we know it's having an impact. Through recent surveys, we've learned that 77% of audience members, students and educators, learn something new about LGBTQ+ history or culture. 46% of LGBTQ+ students feel more safe, accepted, and welcome at their school. 80% of students feel more confident in their identities and optimistic about the future. And 94% of organizers report that after engaging in the screenings and discussions, they feel more strongly that film is a valuable tool in affecting social change. This is an important year for Frameline. We've been impacted, like many of you, by COVID-19. We set an ambitious fundraising goal of $250,000 for the entire year. And although we've risen to the challenges of this year by being able to put on a good festival and move things virtually, we still need your support. Your help goes directly to supporting the work that we do for queer filmmakers, helping our year-round programming like Youth in Motion, and helping us change the world. So please donate now, bid on auction items, become a member. There's so many ways that you can support Frameline and the work that we do. And so I'll close with a few thank yous on behalf of our board. First, to all the people who are participating in tonight's wonderful program. Thank you so much for lending your time and talent to support Frameline. Also to our members and donors. We simply couldn't do the work that we do to support queer filmmakers or support their stories without you. Thank you for everything. I want to send a huge thank you to our staff. They are relentless and wonderful and committed and have risen to every challenge this year has put in front of us and really been committed to advancing our mission. And finally, a personal thank you to my colleagues on the board who supported this organization and helped us by lending their time and talent to move our organization forward and set us up for success in the future. So take care of yourselves. I hope that you're all staying safe and healthy, and I look forward to a time when we can all be together. There's lots of important work ahead of us. And with that, I'll turn it over to Michelle.
I'm having such an amazing time with you all. I hope you're winning. But again, even if you're not winning, in the silent auction, don't worry. You've got some wine coming. It's so great. And remember, this is all going for a great cause. So keep it up, keep bidding, and give. And don't forget, you can get merchandise. Frameline has merchandise this year for Frameline44, and feel free to donate. And we'll always take the donations to help support this incredible organization and this cause that keeps our stories out there. Here are some messages from our incredible filmmakers in our community.
Hi, I'm Isabel Sandoval, the director of Lingua Franca, and I'm here to shout out Frameline, a true champion of queer filmmakers and the stories that we tell. And I should know, because Frameline has programmed my very first short, entitled Senorita, which I then developed into a dramatic feature that also played at Frameline. And when I eventually made Lingua Franca, which is my third feature film, but my first one after my gender transition, we were awarded the Frameline Completion Fund Grant, which helped tremendously in finishing the film. Lingua Franca then went on to premiere at the Venice International Film Festival last year, making me the first trans woman director to ever compete there. So as you can see, Frameline walks the queer walk with passion and commitment. And at a time when our voices as queer creators continue to be ignored and marginalized in the industry, Frameline, which has been a platform and staunch advocate for filmmakers of our community, continues to be as vital as ever. So let's all support Frameline. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jewel Gomez, and I wanted to send a big thank you to the staff of Frameline, both past and present, for bringing us the spectacular film festival every year, especially this year when things have been so tough. I really appreciate the work that goes into this. And as a lesbian of color, it's really important to me to get to see myself up on the screen and to see my friends and people I care about up there, out and proud. So thank you for doing that, Frameline, and for all the other projects that you have ongoing during the year. The other thing I really miss, and this is kind of weird, but I miss standing in line. Even when the wind whips around Market Street and we need to tuck in together because it's so cold. I love when people hold your place in line so you can get a hot cookie. And it doesn't matter what our differences are. If we can't figure out the pronoun thing or someone else doesn't have any idea whose shoulders they stand on. Our differences don't matter. We're there together. And it's one of the places I really get a sense of being in a community. So thank you, Frameline, for providing us that moment to be together and for all of the wonderful, wonderful work that you do. Thank you.
Hey, Frameline44. It's Andi Timoner, the director of Maplethorpe and Coming Clean, most recently, as well as Dig and We Live in Public and Brand A Second Coming, etc. back in the day. And I'm here supporting Frameline44 with hopefully a virtual date I'm going to have with someone and some memorabilia because it's a really important institution, the oldest film festival for queer cinema. And I, as the director of Maplethorpe in 2018, after premiering at Tribeca, I just had no idea that I was embarking on a queer festival circuit and that I was going to be embraced by such a warm and authentic community who are telling stories about liberation and love that are very, very important for people everywhere to see. And I just didn't know that this festival circuit really even existed. And it was a beautiful experience for me that I hope to go on again. I'm sorry we can't be at the Castro together like we were for the Maplethorpe screening. a couple of years ago, but it was wow. It was phenomenal. This is Morgan, my partner, and Symbol. And we are all wishing you the best, and may Frameline live forever and prosper.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Crute, and I am a San Francisco-based filmmaker. And I wanted to urge you to support Frameline with a donation. I have had 4 feature-length films screened at the Frameline Film Festival. It's been an amazing experience for me. My most recent film was in 2017. It was opening night film at The Untold Tales of Armistead Maupin, which is a documentary. And we had a packed house at the Castro, and it was one of the best nights of my life. I also have received the Frameline completion grant a number of times. So Frameline not only has the film festival, but they support filmmakers making LGBTQ themed films with their completion grant. They also have an educational department. And 2 of my films are distributed through that. So I can't think of a more important organization to support during these strange times. So please reach out to Frameline and donate. And in the meantime, be well, stay safe.
Hey, Frameline, Mike Doyle here, writer and director of the feature Sell By. We had the distinct honor of having our US premiere last year at Frameline. And I said before the film last year to the audience, as a filmmaker, you hope your film finds its audience or an audience. And to have the audience that we had in that city, in that theater, at your incredible festival was beyond my wildest dreams and expectations. Film festivals like Frameline are essential for queer cinema because stories such as my own, films such as my own, would not have a vehicle to get out into the world, would not be able to find an audience at all without Frameline. Wouldn't be able to find distribution, which we were lucky to snag with the help of Frameline. And I'm happy to say that we're on Netflix now under a different title. Sell By is called Almost Love. Long story. But the big story is queer cinema is essential, and queer film festivals to support that cinema and those stories is equally essential. So I look forward to many more Framelines in the future, and I am so proud to be part of the Frameline family.
Hi everybody, it's Jenny Olson here, former Frameline Festival co-director, current Frameline distribution filmmaker, former recipient of the Frameline Completion Fund grant for my 2015 film, The Royal Road. I just want to say a huge thank you to Frameline for all of your work, bringing us the best LGBT movies here in the Bay Area, bringing us together as a community. All the work that Frameline Distribution does, bringing queer films to audiences around the country, and especially for the Completion Fund, which, you know, really impacts people around the world with the gift of queer cinema. And just thank you for everything, and happy Frameline44, and I'll see everyone at the movies. Thank you.
Good one. You two are fabulous. Ooh, there's the virtual cater waiter. Talk to you later. Well, hi there. How's your festival? I'm Marga Gomez. Yeah, the pandemic. The queer film fan in me bows to the queer film fan in you. Cheers to Frameline, am I right? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I've seen Marga Gomez somewhere. Where? I'll give you a hint. Babaloo! I was in the trailer. Wait, let me try that again. Babaloo! I need David Weissman, the director, to help me do it. Anyways, yeah, I played Ricky Ricardo in one of the most popular trailers in the whole history of Frameline, which has been going on for a couple of decades. Oh, cheers, Frameline. I just like to put a pitch out to any of you lesbian filmmakers who haven't started your project yet, or you're in the midst of it. If you could just add an extra sex scene. It doesn't really have to follow any kind of storyline. Lesbians don't care, really. You know, we've gone without for so long. Just put in a sex scene if you could. You could dedicate it to me. I don't need to be in the credits. Put in a sex scene. You don't know the kind of shizzle lesbians have had to endure because we thought there was going to be sex. I mean, lesbians would sit and watch a documentary on woodworking patiently for hours without hissing because it was like, hey, one more cabinet and I heard they're going to kiss. I mean, we would go to see films that weren't made by lesbian filmmakers when there weren't lesbian filmmakers to make films. I saw a movie by, I'm not even going to mention his name because he already got too much lesbian money. But he's avant-garde. He's kind of famous. Did this movie, I don't know, in the 90s, right? We all went to see it. I mean, that's who went to see it. Lesbians, because we heard two women are going to kiss in it. We were that desperate. And the two women, they did kiss, but it took a long time to get to that plot point. Oh, we had to watch a cowboy talk to an acrobat about cappuccinos and then all this metaphysical stuff. By the time we got to the kissing scene, we didn't know if these two women were the same woman and if she was dead. But anyway, it's a blonde and a brunette hooking up in this movie. A blonde and a brunette, the way God intended. And they kiss, and then immediately they go into bed. Okay, that's good. They get into bed, they start having sex, and the blonde, she orgasms by crying, because that's how non-queer filmmakers think lesbians come, with tears. And she's crying, and she says to the brunette, I think I love, yeah, she's on top. I think I love you. Okay, bullshit, all right? You know, a dyke didn't write this screenplay because a lesbian would never wait that long to say, I love you. We say I love you after the first coffee date. We have sex with you. That's when we tattoo your name in Old English letters as a tramp stamp. So please, more queer film, more lesbian film, more trans film, more non-binary film, more Frameline. Cheers to you. I gotta get those hors d'oeuvres, though.
Thanks, Marga. That was great. Before I get started on this next segment, I wanted to quickly give a shout out to some of my favorite auction items, and I hope you're all bidding. There are some amazing signed posters in this auction, including Parasite by Bong Joon-ho, Portrait of a Lady on Fire by Celine Sciamma and the lead actresses, Malinoche by Gus Van Sant, and a John Waters signed tour poster. So get on there and make a bid. But now for something very exciting. This year, for the first time, Frameline has partnered with the San Francisco Bay Area Film Critics Circle to bestow a jury award, honoring directors making their very first feature-length fiction film. We're thrilled to have 11 eligible feature debuts competing for the award this year, from up-and-coming directors on 3 continents working in a variety of styles, from suspense to comedy to erotic drama. This year's jury was composed entirely of members of the Circle, all working journalists and critics in film and media. And the jury has spoken. To announce the winner of our first feature award, I'm thrilled to welcome Randy Myers, a freelance film writer for the San Jose Mercury News and localnewsmatters.org. Hi, Randy. Did you have fun watching all those films?
Oh, James, there were 11, but I could have done even a few more. They were so great. It was terrific. It was such a hard thing, James, to actually go ahead and whittle down which one we were going to give that honor to. There were some tough choices on this one.
Yeah, but you did manage to pick a winner, and I'd love to know which one it is.
Well, I'm going to reveal that right now. I'm so excited that Filippo Meneghetti's film Two of Us receives the honor for First Feature Award. It is such a great, remarkable film. It's actually to realize that this is the first film of a director, is really awe-inspiring, because it seemed like a work of a veteran who's been working in this, polishing his craft throughout. The Critics Circle members actually wanted to cite out that it was for it being so precisely composed and framed. And in particular, a performance that resonated with us was one from Barbara Sikova. She is amazing, playing a lover of a woman that they've been closeted for such a long time, but they have this wonderful relationship. And when one gets seriously ill and cannot be allowed to see the other lover, it's just heartbreaking. And she takes desperate measures, and she's so scary good. But James, this was such a rich number of films, of the 11 films in there. We wanted to also cite the thoughtful romance Cicada and the absolutely hilarious Shiva Baby. Both were just remarkable in their own right, as were all the contenders.
Yeah, we've actually got a recorded message from Felipe Berenghetti, the director of Two of Us, to accept his award. So let's hear that message now.
Hello there, I'm Filippo Meneghetti, the director of Two of Us. I'm so honored and grateful for the award. It's such an amazing news. And I would like, first of all, to thank the San Francisco Bay Area Film Critics Circle and for giving me this honor. And then everybody at Frameline that invited the film and made this possible, because it is so important for us in this period we are facing, that our movies, the film we made, can still be seen. And so that's so important, and thanks again. And then of course I want to share this award with everybody that made the film with me, because filmmaking is pretty much about collaboration. That's the wonderful thing about filmmaking anyway. And of course that gives me great motivation for the next one, and which I'm starting to work on. So I hope sooner or later we will be able to meet in person, and maybe you'll see the next film as well, and maybe you'll like it, and I will be grateful again. Anyway, thanks again, and see you.
Congratulations to the Two of Us. And remember, you still have to the end of tomorrow night to view the film at Frameline44, as well as Cicada and Shiva Baby, all of which are amazing films. All of which also have great Q&As we did with the directors and actors, so watch all of those as well. And don't forget, you're all the jury as well. You can vote for your favorite feature, documentary, or short film in our AT&T Audience Awards. There's still time to give your star ratings on our streaming platform to any film you've seen at Frameline44. We'll be announcing all of those winners in just a few days on September 30, so please vote. And now, back to Michelle Meow.
This is so great. Our Frameline community members have just sent me a message that things are going well in the auction. So keep it going, keep it up. And I'm right there with you, bidding along as well for this very important, iconic organization. And don't, even if it's going well though, keep giving, keep supporting. We need this. I can't tell you how important it is for all of us to be together right now and prepare, what's to come for 2021 and supporting our organizations. So keep it up, keep it going. Well, here are some messages from our community members who are artists, are great artists.
Hi, I'm Bianca Del Rio, and I'm here to remind you that the Frameline Silent Auction and Gala will happen on September 26, 2020. I hope to see you there. We need some money. They're expecting to make a lot, and there's Corona. Yeah, you get it. Help us out.
Hi, I'm Jason Butler Harner, and I don't know about you, but one of the great gifts in living in this very challenging time that we all are in is taking a look at how I spend my own energies and resources, which is why I know that I don't have time to give to organizations that don't do the work, which is why it is so easy to champion Frameline that has walked the walk, done the work, since 1977 in its inception as the first international LGBTQIA film festival. Yes, since then, creating a voice for us to commune, convene, and create has been at the core of what Frameline has done. And in the course of these now decades, the thing that we have to particularly champion about them is an effort to reach back to our younger selves who are currently in high school, to show their community that they exist, why they can exist so uniquely, why people need to respect them, value them, be kind to them, and then also creating a platform in the Completion Fund to help our stories complete being told. We will always champion new voices. We will always err on the side of inclusivity, of love, of humor, of self-reflection. Those are qualities to me in the LGBTQIA community that make us so great. Frameline as a vehicle and an entity to tell our stories is uniquely gifted in making sure that we're keeping ourselves honest creatively and also candidly. Are we doing the work as a community? Are we championing these new voices? Are we supporting our brothers and sisters in various communities, whether it was finally really including the trans community and our BIPOC communities? That is part of what Frameline does. We need to see our stories. We need to see our lives reflected back at us for ourselves and also for people who may not understand us and can appreciate that they don't need to demonize us. That's the great strength of Frameline.
Hello, Frameline. Corey Michael Smith here. I was going to wear my 2020 New Year's glasses, but didn't want to trigger anybody. Hell of a year for everybody, but particularly for nonprofits, which is why I'm here to implore you to give up some cash. For those of us that are able to give, I think this year it's important for us to give just a little bit more. I had the pleasure a couple years ago of screening a film at Frameline called 1985, written and directed by Yen Tan, starring myself and Virginia Madsen and Michael Chiklis and Jamie Chung. And of all the festivals that I screened at, Frameline was just particularly warm and inviting and festive and spirited, and it was a real honor to be there and to screen at the Castro, which was epic, and I'll never forget it. But this is a time to be sure that Frameline, which is a valuable queer festival, is sustained with the integrity that it deserves. So empty those wallets, baby. Coins and cash and cards and checks, and call your accountant, make sure you're fine, and give a little more. And then hopefully 2021 will be better for everybody. Bye.
Hi everyone, it's Jackie Cox. I'm from RuPaul's Drag Race, this most recent season, and I want to thank all of you for joining us for this amazing virtual event supporting Frameline and queer cinema. And if you know me, you know how important I think it is for us to share our stories, and especially as a queer community. It's been too long where we haven't been able to be our true selves in the spotlight, in film and cinema, so I'm so supportive of Frameline. And also tonight's event, I'll be donating these 5 headshots, which I'll be signing for the winners of the auction. So the top 5 bids on these headshots will get a signed, personalized headshot from me, Jackie Cox, just thanking you guys for supporting queer cinema, and I'm sending all of you so much love. Mwah.
Hi everybody, what's going on? Happy Frameline 2020. Oh my God, what a crazy time. I cannot believe that I was just there last year with a film, and now this year things have changed just a little bit, but I'll tell you what hasn't changed. What hasn't changed is the importance of these stories that we're telling of queer cinema, of LGBTIAQ plus everything, inclusive content. When I was there last year, I remember getting to see a bunch of different films and kind of being immersed in that world. It was like being in a world that you constantly feel accepted in. And while the real world may not be like that all the time for us, it's important for us to keep telling these stories and keep making these films and these shows and these shorts so that everybody can see it and so that we have a place in cinema that is equal, that makes sense, and makes us feel like we belong. Congratulations to all the filmmakers this year. I will be tuning in for sure.
Well, I can't believe it. It's already been about an hour that we've spent this evening together, but it's been a very special hour. However, it's not all over, right, James?
That's right. You can actually continue bidding or donating up until Sunday night at midnight. So get your bids in. If there's something you've got an eye on, keep going. We're looking forward to being able to announce the winners on Monday. But it's not just the auction that isn't over. It's actually Frameline44 isn't over. We're still going until midnight on Sunday night for all of the films. So make sure you select a couple of great ones to watch on Sunday and just have a lazy afternoon and enjoy some quality cinema before Frameline44 is over for the year.
And here are my last remarks for this evening and a plea to support an organization like Frameline. We're going through a lot, and I think that we all can feel it, the challenges of this pandemic, climate crisis, and even, the efforts to roll back LGBTQ rights. We need to keep our iconic organizations out there, especially an organization like Frameline that tells our lived experiences, they tell our stories. They're there for us when we need to be lifted and entertained, and also when we need to tell our truths. So join me in supporting Frameline tonight and get ready for 2021. We're going to beat this together.
Thank you so much, Michelle. That's so nice of you. And Frameline just thanks you so much for hosting tonight. You've done an amazing job. We're so proud of this particular show. Also, a thank you to everybody who donated their time putting this gala together. Thank you to everybody on staff and the board who made Frameline44 a huge success. It's been a huge year and we're really, really proud of what we've achieved. We're really excited to look forward to Frameline45 in 2021. So I hope to see everybody there. Thank you so much for tonight. Have a good one.